and welcome back to my channel. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Carly and I run a handmade small business called Handmade. And I was working on bulk prepping some pencil and eyeglass cases and keychain wallets. And I've had a lot of questions regarding how I quilt such a large piece and what my measurements are. So I figured I would kind of take you guys along with me this week and show you how I bulk prep these. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, I do these big pieces here and I quilt the larger size. That big one is for the keychain wallets, and then these are for the pencil and eyeglass cases. And I just like to bulk prep them in a larger piece just because it's a little bit easier for me quilting like a larger piece and then cutting them down to size. So I figured I would show you guys my process in that, and hopefully it will help some of you guys if you're looking to bulk prep in this way. So I will bring you over to my cutting table over here and I'll show you kind of what I do. Okay, I realize I don't have to bring you over to my cutting table, but I'm gonna try to explain it to you guys over here. So we've got our big piece for our keychain wallets, and this is cut out to 19 by 21. And the reason I want the end big piece to be 20 inches by 18 inches, but I make each side 1 inch longer because when I'm quilting it, it shrinks up a little bit. So I just want to make sure I have enough wiggle room to cut it down to 20 by 18. And then once this is cut down after it's quilted to 20 by 18, I cut it down going 6 inches, like whatever my little quilted piece here. So this size here, the end little piece for one side of the keychain wallet is going to be 6 inches by 5 inches. So the way I figured out this big piece here is I want to be able to get 6 wallets out of each piece, and 6 wallets would be 12 pieces total. So that's how I've kind of drew it out here. So 20 inches and then 18 inches, and we're going to quilt up on the 18-inch side, and then you'll cut them out 6, 12, 18. So each of these would be 6 inches, and then this way would be 5 inches. So I've kind of, you can do them however many keychain wallets you want to get out of each piece. But I'll show you guys once we get this quilted, I'll kind of show you how I cut them out and everything, and it will hopefully give you guys kind of the idea of what I'm going for. It's kind of hard to explain, but I'll show you guys the process. Right, and then I did the same thing with the pencil and eyeglass cases here. So this is going to be 10 inches wide by, I think it's 21 inches long, and I'm going to quilt up. So when I cut them out, I'll be able to get 4 pieces, which will make 2 keychain wallets. But once I get these quilted, I'll kind of show you guys what I'm talking about because I might be confusing you. Pretty much what I've done is just whatever my one side of the keychain or pencil and eyeglass cases is, I've just multiplied it and just put it into a big square. It was easier for me to draw it out rather than like doing a bunch of math. But let me quilt this keychain wallet one up and I will show you guys how I cut them out. All right, so we have our quilted piece here. Let me put my hair back so it likes to get in the way. So you see our quilting lines here, and they're going to go up. What I'm going to do right now is just trim all of the excess batting, which I do a little bit around the sides here just to help with shrinkage as well. Not help, but just so I know that it's gonna fully have batting all the way all around it. There's not gonna be like any bare spots. So we're just gonna trim all of that off. Okay, so now we have our piece with all of the extra batting trimmed off. And now is when I'm going to trim it down to 18 by 20 inches here. Which this side you can see there's probably like ½ an inch left as I hit you guys. So we're just going to trim this down to 18. Okay, and then we'll do 20. Okay. A little string left. So on the 18-inch side, we're going to line it up. And then every 6, 12, and then at that 18, we're going to cut it. So we're going to cut up at the 6, and then we'll go 6 more, so that will bring us at 12. Okay, and then we have 18. So now we have these 3 pieces here. And we're going to turn them this way. Just line them up. And now we're going to do the 5s. And this will give us our 12 pieces. 5, then we'll go to the 10. And 15. A little bit more there. All right, and now we have our 12 pieces, which will make 6 keychain wallets. And doing it this way just, I think, goes a little bit faster rather than like, let's say this size is like 7 by 6 and you're quilting each individual one. I just personally think it's a little bit faster doing it this way. So that's for the keychain wallets, and I will show you guys the pencil and eyeglass cases. Okay, so again, for the pencil and eyeglass cases, we're going to have a little bit of extra batting around the edges, so we're just going to trim that off. All right, so we're going to line it up on the edge here. Okay. And we're going to trim it down to 9 inches. And again, you guys can make these whatever sizes you want. These are just what works for me and like fits all different kinds of pens and pencils and stuff and glasses. Same thing with the keychain wallets. It took me a little bit just to figure out the right size to be able to, you know, like easily get a bunch of cards out. So those were just sizes that I chose. You can make them bigger. You can make them smaller to just be like kind of like a coin purse. We're going to cut it down to 20. All right, so now we've got this little piece here and 9 inches. So this is already as wide. If you wanted to double them, I guess it would be you'd go to 20. But this is just going to give me 4 pieces, which would give me 2 pencil and eyeglass cases. So that's this is 9, and then we're going to go to 20, and I already did that, so we're going to do 5. We're going to go to 10. And we're going to go to 15. And now you've got 4 pieces here, and that will give you 2 pencil and eyeglass cases. So that's just, again, I think it just goes a little bit faster for me, like quilting the big pieces and then just being able to cut them down, and I can just store them on my little shelf system thing over there. And if I need to make one, I can just make one, or I can just bulk prep a whole bunch of them. All right, and then on like my tiered shelves here, all of these pieces, this is what I do when I'm bulk prepping. As you can see, like I need to redo the daisies. I got to do some of the Sunday garden, the blue meadows, but I need to quilt them in large batches. So doing it that way just helps me, I think, move the process on a little bit quicker. And then, you know, when I'm not bulk prepping for a market, I can just keep these little pieces here and then grab 2 when I have an order to make. So yeah, I just think it makes things a little bit easier and a little bit faster, but that way I've got all of the little pieces stored here for when I need them. So again, I'll have all of like the dimensions and everything in the description box down below. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments and I will answer to the best of my ability. I've had quite a few questions about like how I bulk prep the big pieces and quilt them, and like what are my measurements and how did you figure that out? So I figured it was best to kind of explain it to you guys in a video, and I know this is kind of a shorter one for me, but I just wanted to get this information out to you guys. And again, if you have any questions, just feel free to ask me down below, and I appreciate you guys hanging out with me this week. And don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye.